There are 26,000 young people between the ages of 5 and 18 who live within a mile and a half of Jackson Square, and yet only 10% of these students participate in after-school sports or recreation activities, in large part because they simply don't have a recreation center that is accessible and affordable. Urban Edge, a community development corporation based in Jackson Square, is working to revitalize the neighborhood by building affordable and market-rate housing and by building the Jackson Square Recreation Center. The two-story center will have a regulation-size ice rink on the first floor, a turf field on the second floor, and a social service space as well. To tell us more about this project, we've invited Katie Provencher. She's Deputy Director of Urban Edge, and 16-year-old Vincent Dang, a founding member of the Boston Centers for Youth and Families Youth Advisory Council. Welcome to Urban Update. Thanks for coming in this morning. Katie, if I could start with you, talk to me about where the idea for the Jackson Square Recreational Center came from.
So the idea for the Recreation Center really came from young people like Vincent, who's here with us today. This is truly an idea that came from the community. There's a group of organizations, Urban Edge, the Jamaica Plain Neighborhood Development Corporation, the Community Builders, Hyde Square Task Force, the Friends of the Kelly Rink, who have been really working together for over 20 years to redevelop Jackson Square. And we've been building housing. At the end of the day, we would have built 350 units of housing, over 60,000 square feet of commercial space. And the idea really came from the community and the neighborhood of to have this be a really comprehensive neighborhood. You need stores to shop at and places to go out to eat and recreation centers, places to go after school that's affordable and accessible to people in the neighborhood.
Now, this recreation center is going to include a hockey rink and a turf field. That sounds pretty cool.
It is. We're really excited. So the idea for the ice rink came from a small temporary Kelly rink that's off of the Stony Brook T station on the Orange Line. That was supposed to be temporary for a few years, has now been in operations for 15 years. And the neighborhood has really wanted there to be permanent ice in Jackson Square. The Kelly Rink right now is a place where young people like Vincent and others can go there after school, pay a few dollars, and really spend some time ice skating. So the idea came to do the permanent ice in Jackson, and the turf just adds for such a diversity of sports. Young people can play football and whatnot.
Now, Vincent, you're a member of the Youth Advisory Council, and you live in Roslindale. Talk to me about why you're supporting this recreation center in Jackson Square, why you think it's so important.
So one of the reasons why I'm supporting the Jackson Square Recreational Center is because I feel like that Roslindale and Jackson Square, they have a lot of relatable ways that I can have them different. Mm-hmm. And what it is that growing up in Roslindale and the development that I live in, there has been a lot of violence and a lot of gang violence, drug trafficking, and a lot of things that highly affect me in my life and are somewhat negative influences. And through having a recreational center, we're able to have a positive outlet in order to be at somewhere safe and stay away from those negative influences that a lot of people are attracted towards. And having a positive influence such as the recreational center will be such a great idea.
Now, do you spend a lot of time at the Menino Community Center now?
Yeah, I spend a lot of time at the Menino Community Center. I've been going to the Menino Community Center since I was about 6 years old, and now I'm running the homework club, and I'm tutoring kids with their homework, checking on their grades, and doing a lot of things with them. There's a lot of activities and programs at the Menino Community Center that a lot of teens would be attracted towards in order to differentiate from all those negative influences that are outside on the streets.
Wow, impressive. Now, Katie, the center is going to cost $21.5 million in total, but you've already raised almost half of that money. Can you talk a little bit about the launch event you had last week with Mayor Walsh and so many other folks, and that was, and what was that like?
Yeah, so that's right, Byron. We're over halfway there to our $21 million capital campaign. We're very excited. We had a great event last week at the Kelly Rink, which I described earlier. Mayor Walsh came out, Micah Rizioni, Christine Lilly, Chris Tierney for the New England Revolution, elected officials, people from the neighborhood, the Youth Advisory Council was there. And it was just really, everyone has been working for a number of months now to galvanize together and to really build this committee, coming out and saying that we need people's support. We're halfway there. We're not going to let this go. This community beyond deserves this amazing resource, and we're all going to work together and not give up to get this built. It was truly amazing.
Can you tell me a little bit about Urban Edge and the work that you're doing there, and the history of Jackson Square.
Sure. So years ago, there were plans to actually drive a highway through Jackson Square. And a piece of Urban Edge's history is that people in the neighborhood really galvanized together and said, we're not going to allow that to happen in this neighborhood. They were a little late in that there were some buildings taken down and some scarring that occurred along the southwest corridor. And so organizations like Urban Edge and others in the neighborhood have really worked together to redevelop. We own over 1,400 units of affordable housing and run a whole host of programs for people in Eggleston Square and Jackson Square.
Okay, and Vincent, I guess, again, back to the community center here, I guess, what are the thoughts that you, the reaction you're getting from your peers about having the importance of having a center like this for teenagers, for little kids?
So one of the reasons why, well, first off, if I was to never go to the Menino Community Center, I would have never met Katie here. And I would have never joined the Youth Advisory Council for BCYF. And the BCYF Menino Community Center is such a great place in order for teens, youth, and little kids. They're able to have such athletic activities, many different things. For example, in my neighborhood, there's a set group of teens, some that are attracted towards the negative influences such as drugs, gang violence, and etc. And there are those teens who are redirected onto the course of education, athletics, and different things such as that. And the group that I am in, which is mainly the positive kids, is that through being in the community center, we've been able to reach out to each other and help each other do whatever we need to do.
Okay, and Katie, just very quickly, where can people find out more information about Urban Edge if they're interested?
www.urbanedge.org.
Okay, all right, and we'll leave it right there. Katie Provencher and Vincent Dang, congratulations on getting this far, and good luck making it all the way to get that center built.
Thank you, Byron.
Okay, all right, when we come back, information on tomorrow night's event to commemorate the anniversary of the assassination of Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.